Okay, so let's talk about managing interruptions, because of all the things that people complain about in terms of managing time and getting everything done, one of the ones that crops up most regularly is the whole business of how do you deal with it when somebody interrupts you in the middle of doing something else. And I think most people will have had this experience that perhaps you've cleared a bit of space in your diary, you've decided, right, for the next hour, I'm going to work on this particular task or project, and you're just getting stuck into it, your brain's completely engaged, and then somebody comes up and says, oh, have you got a minute? Now, would you mind if? And of course, by the time you've said, well, could you come back at the end of the hour because right now I'm focused on this, you have in fact lost your focus. So it's not good enough just to have a way of politely saying to somebody, please come back later. Really what ideally we want to do is stop people coming up and interrupting us when we're working on our most important things. Does that sound like something you'd like to do? Okay, so if it is, stay with me. Because actually the key to doing this is not at all about focusing on the time when you want to get your head down and do something else. The key to it is having some time when you are specifically available for any kind of interruption anybody might wish to make. And of course, if you're going to do that, people need to know when it is. So this is going to depend on your job and to what extent you have to interact with other people and to what extent you have to be available when other people need you. So suppose you do a job where it's quite normal that in the course of a day you might spend about an hour dealing with different people who come and say, have you got 5 minutes? It may be 5 minutes, it may end up being 10 or 15. That's usually how the conversation starts though. So if you look across, say, a week or two of your normal activity and see if you can get a rough idea of what amount of time in a day do you spend dealing with interruptions, then say allocate an hour and a half a day and tell everybody who might conceivably interrupt you that there is a time of day when you can always find me at my desk. I won't be engaged in anything particularly significant. I'm probably just checking my email and tidying up loose ends of things. So it'll be easy for me to break off and give you my full attention. And that time of day is, well, it depends on you. It could be the last hour and a half of the day. It could be the first bit after lunch. It could be first thing in the morning. Whenever is going to work for you, depending on your personality and how you relate to time. Because some of us are really good first thing in the morning. Some of us take a bit longer to get going. The main thing you want to do is to make sure that this time when you're available for interruptions is a time when you wouldn't normally be doing your most productive work. So if there's a time of day when you get a bit of a dip in energy, this is the right time to have your interruptions hour. I wouldn't recommend you call it interruptions. You say you're available for anybody who needs your time and attention. So if you were to email out to all of your colleagues, customers, suppliers, anybody else who might need you and say, OK, as of now, if you want to get hold of me without any notice, just for a couple of questions or a quick chat about something, this is a really good time of day to catch me. Phone me, come to my desk, email me or whatever, after 3:30 in the afternoon or between 10 and 11 in the morning, whatever it is. What will happen with that is that some people will do it and some people won't. The people that don't will eventually get frustrated with the fact that it's harder to catch you any other time and they'll start to take notice. So you won't immediately find that everybody starts just contacting you in that time, but a lot of people will, and over a few weeks or months you will get more and more people who will make use of that time when you are specifically available for small ad hoc conversations, questions and so on. Then what you do as stage 2 is you start allocating time when you are not available. Now, of course, this is the bit you really want, is the time when nobody can get to you. But the only way that you're ever going to be able to protect that is by providing an alternative. So step 1, offer a time when you are available. And once that's established, then you can start blocking out time and saying, I'm actually not available. And that should be your most productive time of day. So if you know that first thing in the morning, when you arrive in the office, that's the time when you're going to do your best work, that should be the time when you are specifically not available, unless the building's on fire or something, which may not even not be your responsibility. So think about when's the best time of day for you to protect and when's the best time of day for you to be just dealing with ad hoc things that won't take up a lot of time, and when you can switch from one thing to another quite easily and not feel that it's a waste of time. So there you go. That's how you manage interruptions.